What up, guys? Welcome back to the garage, man. Today we're gonna be doing a little bit of work on the EK. I need to get the front bumper and the lip and the grill and all that stuff. I want to finish up the front end, get it complete. We also have the mirrors sprayed and done so we can get those mounted. Finally get to see what this car looks like all complete with all of its body panels on, you know what I'm saying? We did have a couple of packages come to the PO box. This one did not, I already opened it. It was a Amazon package, and there was no notes like saying who it came from, but whoever sent me out the vacuum, thank you. I most certainly needed it. I do have a shop vac, this thing right here. I have a feeling you probably sent me one seeing that I pressure washed the back, the carpet of the Suburban, and it would have been nice to have a wet vacuum to suck that shit all up. The thing is, I don't ever use that vacuum as much as I should, because the thing freaking stinks, bro. Like, really, I need to tear it apart and like pressure wash the inside of it and stuff. Every time I use it to vacuum anything dry, it blows dust all in the air, and anytime I use it to vacuum anything wet, it puts out this like raw fish smell, bro, like a rotten fish smell. Huge thank you to whoever did send this out. I most certainly appreciate it. This one also came in, and there was a note. Hopefully these are worth a shit. IG at 2fly for a white guy, from Cody Hartman. Thanks again, Cody. You've sent us quite a few things, man. I appreciate you, dude. So yeah, here's some swivel head little socket attachments and some freaking extensions, dude. So huge shout out to you, Cody. I appreciate you, dog. Most certainly always is a good gift to add to the tool collection, man, because you guys already know. I mean, that's all we ever do around here is work on cars. So the more tools you got, the better off you are. So, yo, before we move on, I want to touch back on these Quickjacks really quick. As you guys know, whenever you raise this thing all the way up and you got to bring it back down a little bit, and it actually sits on the locks. So all the way up is actually right there. So right now the car is lifted and it is being supported by the hydraulic fluid pressure that's in the lines. But if you press down, then it'll come down and it'll sit on the actual locks. That's what holds it into place. So now you just press down and hold it for a few seconds, and what that actually does is it releases the hydraulic pressure that's inside of the line. So now these things are actually locked into place where they're at. It's kind of like using a jack stand, bro. You know, whenever you jack your car up with a jack, you don't get underneath it because you are basically trusting your life on the hydraulic pressure. So if there was like a seal or something that went out and it leaked hydraulic pressure, it can potentially, the car can come down, and it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why people always tell you to use jack stands. So this is basically the same concept here. Whenever you lower it down, it has these locking arms that will lock this thing into position, and you're not relying on the pressure of the hydraulic fluid. So at this point, you can actually hit these quick disconnects. Bam. So now that is actually disconnected from the pump. So now both sides are disconnected. So now I can completely take this whole pump that's disconnected, set it in here out of my way, so it's completely out of the way. And now you don't have to worry about having the pump and the lines and all that stuff in your way, in your workspace. The car is still jacked up where you need it. You know, if you're gonna be doing, like if you're lifting the car up and you're gonna be doing some long-term work on it, where you're gonna be working on this for a few hours and you just don't want all that stuff in your way. I just thought that's a really cool feature, so I figured I'd share that with you guys. Man, I completely forgot that I gotta paint this damn bumper black, man. So yeah, I still need to mask off all these fins and get this thing ready to spray this inside black. And hell freaking yes, I'm gonna do this inside the house in the air conditioning. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this done so then we could get the bumper on the car. We gotta mount the lip on the bumper too. So I figured once I get this thing sprayed, then I'll go ahead and do that in here in the AC as well. All right, got the bumper all masked off. What we're gonna be using is just the aerosol can of trim black. As easy as it gets, bro. So the hardest part of this was just masking it off. So I have noticed whenever you park this car that there is a little bit of a coolant leak. It doesn't happen like every time. It's just like whenever you let the car actually warm up and get pressurized. So I feel like there's probably like a cracked hose somewhere, or maybe a hose clamp that's not completely tight. I don't know, but I do want to hit the system with this coolant system pressure tester. So basically what this does is you hook this to the radiator, and it's a little pump, and you can actually pressurize the cooling system, therefore like checking where it is like it could be leaking at. So whenever your coolant heats up, whenever the engine heats up, the coolant or water or whatever it is you have inside of your radiator, as it gets hot, it expands and it makes everything like pressurized, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes whenever you have a leak like this, it won't leak, it won't present itself whenever the car is cold. It'll only do it whenever the car is warm. So this is a really good way to test it without burning yourself, because you can actually add some pressure to the system without it being hot. Oh wow, okay. Found one right away. You know what, that could very well may be it, man. I mean, that's obviously leaking, but I'm gonna try and tighten this and then see if there's any other leaks anywhere. It was in the front, dude. It did look like it was coming from like the radiator area. So that just might be it, man. As easy as that. It's right at the top. How much more simple could that be? Well, that's fully pressurized right there. Any more pressure than that, then that is a lot more pressure than this system will ever see. So yeah, I don't see it coming out anywhere else. So I think that was our only freaking leak, man. It's good to have simple fixes every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? Good Lord. Also got some power steering fluid to top that off, because I had a little bit here at the house, but I didn't have enough to completely fill it up. Alright, moving on, I got a couple of sensors for the car. Braven actually grabbed these for me. So shout out to old Rughead. This is the temperature sensor, the one that actually goes on the thermostat housing. This is the one that tells the fans to come on. So I'll show you guys how I have that rigged up right now at the moment. And then this one is the intake air temperature sensor. So I mentioned to you guys in another video that I have a check engine light on for this. This is the one that goes on the intake tube. We're gonna have to replace this because it is throwing a code for it. So there's a brand new one, and then the new coolant sensor. So whenever you turn this car on, the fan just automatically comes on and it stays on constant, because I'm sure a lot of you guys know this trick, but that sensor, the one right here that goes on the thermostat housing, that's the one that tells the fan to kick on. So if you guys are having a problem where your fan is not coming on, to check the circuit or to temporarily fix it, you can just pull the plug out and use a paper clip and just jump it together. That should make the fan come on. If that doesn't make the fan come on, then your problem is somewhere else. It could be in the wiring or something. But I've just kept it like this so that my car doesn't overheat. But then it just runs the fan 24/7. So if the car's on, the fan is on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna fix that so we don't have it ghetto rigged anymore. Goodbye paper clip, and hello new sensor. Oh, kind of hard to get in there. Oh, you know what? Perfect time to use my new swivel. The intake tube is kind of in the way to get the drill on it straight on. So put a swivel on there. I bet we'll be back in action. Hell yeah. Come on, don't leak all the coolant out. Well, I got the car back in here, back on the lift, back under construction. When I first took this valve cover off, I had noticed something on some of these bolts that hold the valve cover down, that there was like silicone, like they put RTV on the tips, like on the threads, you know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like it's gonna be a problem. I put the new valve cover gasket on and stuff after we wrinkle blacked it. Got the valve cover put back on. I did notice that this one bolt over here on this side kind of seemed a little iffy, but it was only that one. But I did notice the silicone on the threads on that one and on this one. So I pulled the car down and I went to go and take it for a drive. I wanted to go and get a little video edit of it now that we got it all complete and everything. I probably got a half a mile away from my house and I noticed that there was smoke bellowing out from underneath the freaking hood. State of emergency, right? Like, oh crap, what the hell is going on? I pull over, pop the hood really quick. I mean, you could smell that it's burning oil. That's not fire. There ain't anything that's gonna cause a fire. God, I hope not. Anyhow, it turns out the valve cover gasket was leaking and it was getting on the manifold right here. And of course, it was burning that oil. It wasn't really bad, but it was enough for it to get out, you know, and create smoke. So I brought it back home, and under further investigation, my friend, yeah, those these two bolts right here on the ends, this one and this one, they would do that infinite spin, you know what I'm saying? Like you'd get to a certain point and it'd go pop back to loose, and you're like, what the hell? You apply a little bit of pressure, kind of cranking on it, and it feels like it's getting tight, and then it goes pop and gets loose again. So I'm like, son of a bitch, bro. This is the exact same thing that happened to Braven. I don't know if you guys remember, but whenever Braven had bought in that coupe, he had the same exact problem. So luckily, for me anyway, he had already bought a Healy coil set. So I ran down to his house and I grabbed his Healy coil set. It's already got the drill bit, it's got the Healy coils, the right size and stuff that we need, and the little tap. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go through that whole fiasco. It has to be done because it leaking out of the damn valve cover just isn't gonna work. And I know a lot of people, for instance, put silicone on the threads, or go ahead and just put a bunch of silicone all the way around and actually glue the valve cover on so that you don't have the problem. Put some silicone on the thread. Like, you can half-ass this, but I don't want to, man. I want to do it right so that whoever does end up with the car, I don't want this to be a future problem for you. You know what I'm saying? Alright, I got this thing all masked off. So what I did is I cleaned it really well. I used a paper towel with some brake cleaner and just tried to get as much of the oil off as I possibly could. Taped around the holes really good, covered it with paper, and then popped a little hole in the paper where they're at, and then taped it once again. So the idea here is obviously to avoid any metal shavings getting inside of our head, because we don't have a valve cover on there. Because our very first step is we have to drill those holes out. So opening up our Healy coil kit, the very first thing that we are going to be using is the drill bit. We got to drill that hole out to make it larger so that we can then tap it to the new threads. And I just dumped everything all over the place. Hey, get back over here, buddy. But you know what? After we're done drilling, that would be a really good thing that we can crack the vacuum open for and use it for the first time. Go ahead and vacuum all the little shavings and stuff up. Sick, dude. That's actually a pretty dope ass little vacuum. And strong as hell, boy. I like that, dude. I need to keep this one clean. I actually have a nice vacuum for vacuuming out the car. Alright, moving on. Now we gotta go ahead and tap those holes. Bang, bang. And some WD again. All right, I got the Helix coils done. Moment of truth, dude. Go ahead and applying our RTV on these corners right here where you need to apply RTV. And yes, I am reusing the same gasket, the new one that we put on, because it came off flawlessly, dude. Didn't give me any problems. And the RTV that I stuck on here from last time literally peeled right off like nothing. So we got lucky. I'm able to reuse this one. That was a satisfying feeling watching that valve cover cinch down. Like, it wouldn't do that before. Now I was able to actually tighten them, and you watch the valve cover every time you crank the freaking bolt, the valve cover's going just squeezing that gasket. So I'm 100% confident that's not gonna leak now. I checked the oil level and it's not even low. Like, it didn't even leak a lot, bro, but it was just enough to get on here and cause a smoke show, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, dude, like this actually stressed me out. It had me like, are you freaking kidding me? Can I just catch a break? I feel like even with the BMW, dude, like every time I fix something on that damn car, something else goes wrong. And I'm kind of getting to that point with this freaking car. I feel like it's just never gonna be done. Luckily, this car hasn't given me all the stupid little problems like the BMW has. Honestly, that's the first problem I've had, to be straight up with you, is just those bolts. And like I said, whenever I pulled the valve cover off, I noticed that it was kind of a little wonky, you know? I should have expected this, basically, is what I'm saying. So anyhow, guys, that kind of took up the rest of my day. My plan was to install the ghost lock right now, but unfortunately that kind of took priority. And I really wanted to get the car out and go record it, but of course we've already lost sunlight. Either way, man, any progress is definitely good progress. We got the bumper on today, got the mirrors on, got all the rest of the body panels on, found and fixed a problem. Yeah, man, I'm satisfied. We don't have much more to go on this damn thing, so I hope you guys are entered because it is definitely coming out freaking amazing. I'll tell you right now, video does not do this car justice. Everybody that has seen this thing in person, like, I'm telling you, you just don't understand the way this freaking paint hits, dude. In person, this thing looks freaking amazing, especially out there in the sun. It just pops. But anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do smash the like button for me. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one. Yeah, see, it's just way too dark, man. I'm gonna have to come back during the day so we can actually do a video to where you see the damn car. But I mean, it looks pretty good right now. You can kind of see it. But like I said, it really pops during the day, bro. You gotta see this thing during the day. Alright, well, I'm gonna try to get some pictures for Instagram. I haven't really posted this car a whole lot on Instagram, but anyhow, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do smash the like button. Don't forget, get entered for your chance to win this thing before it's too late. I wish I could enter myself. I'm not even joking. Later.